What if the key to modern gold discovery isn't in ancient sites, but in places where the Earth is still shifting today? For centuries, we've searched for gold in old riverbeds and mountain veins, but the planet is far from static. The Earth's crust is alive, constantly moving, tearing and reforming, creating new opportunities for mineral wealth. The most recent and active geological features, our planet's living arteries, may hold the richest secrets. This is a shift from looking at ancient geology to tracking the planet's current pulse. Join me as we explore the youngest, most energetic parts of the Earth, learning to read the signs of recent upheaval and discovering how this movement concentrates gold. We'll venture to fault lines, where the Earth's power is raw, and where, if you know how to look, you can find veins of gold still being shaped today. To find where gold might be forming now, we look to the Quaternary period, the last 2.6 million years, our own geological era. Quaternary fault zones are the youngest, most active fractures in the Earth's crust, still moving, still shaping the land. These faults are not ancient scars, but living, shifting features that create space and pathways deep into the Earth. Through these cracks, superheated mineral-rich fluids rise from below, carrying dissolved elements, including gold. As these fluids cool and depressurize, they deposit minerals like quartz and, under the right conditions, gold. These zones of recent geological activity become zones of mineralization. The same energy that causes earthquakes also creates the perfect environment for gold to be deposited. Quaternary faults are not just fractures, they are the planet's living veins, still channeling the fluids that can leave behind gold. Understanding these active systems is key to finding new deposits. The Earth's most dynamic features are where its newest treasures are being formed. These are the places prospectors should focus on today. For today's prospector, understanding active faults is the key to success. The new wisdom: follow the activity, not just the gold. When a fault moves, it creates new spaces, voids and shattered rock, prime pathways for gold-bearing fluids. Earthquakes can trigger flash deposition, where gold and quartz are rapidly deposited in fresh fractures. The most promising targets are faults with evidence of recent movement, where the geological pump has been primed. Seismic tremors and subtle fault creep are not just hazards, they're signposts for opportunity. The search for gold is now a search for geological dynamism. We're not just looking for gold, we're looking for the process that creates it, happening in near real time. This is the new frontier of prospecting. The signs of young, active faults are written on the landscape if you know what to look for. Linear features, straight valleys, ridges, or aligned springs, often signal a fault's presence. Fault scarps, steep banks formed by recent movement, can remain sharp for thousands of years, especially in arid regions. Displaced streams, right-angle turns, sag ponds, and sliced alluvial fans are classic fault indicators. These are the footprints of a moving Earth. Satellite imagery reveals sweeping fault lines invisible from the ground, while LiDAR strips away vegetation to expose subtle scarps and fault traces. LiDAR maps are a prospector's treasure map, revealing details hidden to the naked eye. By combining field observation with digital tools, you can trace the freshest scars of tectonic activity. The best clues are often subtle: changes in vegetation, water flow, or rock alignment. Learning to read these signs is essential for finding new gold deposits. The landscape is a living record of the Earth's most recent movements. Follow the lines, and you follow the gold. Today's prospector blends classic fieldwork with cutting-edge technology. Traditional tools, hammer, hand lens, gold pan, are still essential for direct observation. Boots on the ground let you feel the terrain, spot subtle changes, and sample fault gouge firsthand. But now, digital tools amplify your search. High-res satellite imagery, topographic maps, and geological surveys are all in your pocket. The real breakthrough is layering data, overlaying quaternary fault maps with geochemical and historical mining data. When a young fault intersects iron-stained rock or old placer workings, you've found a prime target. Digital maps reveal where structure, chemistry, and history converge. These intersections are where you should dig deeper. Preparation and real-time analysis in the field have never been easier. The smartest prospectors use both tradition and technology to find the next big strike. Let's see these principles in action in Arizona's Harquahala Mountains, a classic metamorphic core complex with a rich gold history. Here, Ancient rocks meet younger volcanic layers, creating a fertile environment for mineralization. But it's the fresh Quaternary faults cutting across these older structures that matter most today. These young faults act as conduits, reactivating and concentrating gold in new zones. Historic miners instinctively followed these lines of weakness, faults, quartz veins, and contact zones, finding the richest ore where structures intersected. Modern mapping shows the best deposits are where young, high-angle faults cross older, mineralized zones. The Earth's most recent movements have unlocked its oldest treasures. Understanding this interplay is the key to new discoveries. In the field, look for classic signs of mineralization along faults. Gossans, rusty, iron-rich caps, often mark the surface above gold-bearing zones. Examine the fault plane for slickened sides, quartz or calcite veinlets, and black manganese stains, strong indicators of gold-friendly fluids. Weathering breaks down sulfides, freeing gold to migrate and concentrate in clay-rich fault gouge. Always sample and pan this material. Silicification, where rock is hardened by silica, often forms ridges or breccias, prime targets for gold. Clusters of these features along a quaternary fault are a strong signal. Each clue, gossan, manganese, gouge, silicified breccia, adds to the puzzle. When several indicators align, you're in a place of real potential. The landscape tells a story, if you know how to read it. Fault lines concentrate the right ingredients for gold. The best discoveries come from assembling these clues. Trust the evidence the Earth provides. The most promising gold zones, active quaternary faults, are also the most seismically hazardous. These are risk zones, but for prospectors, risk equals opportunity. Just as oil geologists target anticlines, gold prospectors target active faults, their primary structural trap. Recent movement means the geological plumbing is live, and mineralizing fluids have had a fresh chance to flow. Seismic activity isn't a deterrent, it's the reason gold is there. The dynamic margins of tectonic plates are where the Earth is most creative and generous. We work in the planet's active workshops, not its quiet museums. These zones are both risky and rich. Understanding and respecting the power of the Earth is key. The prize goes to those who know where the energy is focused. Gold's story is the story of the Earth's movement, born in heat, pressure, and ongoing tectonic activity. We've learned how quaternary fault zones create pathways for gold, and how to read the landscape's clues. Modern technology and traditional fieldwork together reveal where structure, chemistry, and timing align. Old maps show where gold was, new maps show where it might be forming now. By focusing on living fault systems, we're prospecting in real time. The clues are out there, written in the living rock. Download your Quaternary Fault Zone gold map today at ourmuseum.com. The next great discovery is waiting for those who know where to look. The search for gold is a journey into the unknown, now as much geological as geographical. We're exploring the Earth's most dynamic moments, seeing the landscape as a work in progress. This approach, combining field skill with modern data, is the future of prospecting. By learning to recognize active faulting, you're learning the language of gold. The Earth's story is still being written, one fracture, one vein at a time. Download your Quaternary Fault Zone gold map at ourmuseum.com and start your own chapter in this ancient quest.